these are our stories. These are our realities. The Urban Impact Show is sponsored by Green and Wood Media Services. Green and Wood uses digital media to help businesses, political campaigns, and organizations grow while increasing their community impact. Green and Wood Media is pleased to offer a digital media buying fellowship to train, develop, and mentor young people interested in digital media, politics, and advertising. Learn more at greenandwoodmedia.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. I'm Rob Johnson.
Dwana Bradley.
Tiara Mays.
Man, and this is little Elias Johnson.
Co-host.
Eating snacks. Man, this has been a busy week. We're still talking about voting while black. And let me just tell y'all, I have been really on a roll with telling Democrats, like, y'all got to fall in line. Mm-hmm. Black people aren't just going to vote for Democrats just because you're a Democrat any longer. Mm-hmm. Black folks are requiring and asking for you to show up in their communities and to do more. You can't just show up at a church on Sunday during election season and then nobody hears from you, nobody sees you. Yep. We don't see you in the community, right? So we don't know you, right? And so I've been really on that. And then also I've noticed that a lot of Republicans have been really trying their best.
You know what you have to do, Rob.
Yep, I got to pick him up.
He does not want to. Yes, you got to.
A lot of Republicans have been trying their best to reach out to African-American voters. I've gotten 2 personal calls from the Republican candidate running in the 3rd district for Congress. Not one personal call from the Democratic candidate running in the 3rd district.
Interesting.
Yeah, not one. And I know them, right? And that's probably why, it's probably like, no. But this guy, he's like, hey, Rob, what can I do, right? He's not afraid to reach out. He's not afraid to make that initial ask, and he wasn't even afraid to ask for the support. Right. Yeah. If they're not afraid to get out here and make these asks, man, the Dems got to come with it if they want to continue to do what is necessary to be done to win this thing, And so that's what we got to do. We got to make this happen. Yes. Oh, I forgot to mention, we are live from the studio in Windsor Heights.
Yes, we are.
If you would like to book this studio like I did today for Eli's birthday pictures, you can call 515-996-0326. Again, 515-996-0326. And don't forget, next week, Sunday, come out and help celebrate Eli's first birthday.
That's right.
We're going to have some cake and ice cream.
Our favorite co-host.
You are welcome. Wow, one last thing. Bishop Eppright sent me a message. They are having people sign up. You can get a free tablet. And so
I got that email.
So it's cool if we post that?
We can repost that. I've seen it posted around there, so we'll get it up there.
Yeah, we'll post it up there. So how was y'all weekend?
What did I do this weekend? By the time we get here, I forget.
Jeez, it's been a weekend.
It's been cool, I think. I've been braiding hair since last night. I've been braiding my daughter's hair, so.
Oh, I know your fingers are probably numb.
Yeah, they hurt. And she got the nerves when my legs hurt. I'm like, yeah, because this is a joy for me.
Right, because you've been sitting. I've been doing, okay. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what our weekend's been. I really need a directory of all the black hairstylists that keep appointments or just come to my house. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Because I don't do manual labor.
Yeah, we need to work on that. I think we do. And that there is a black business directory, isn't there, on the
Can you put it? Can you filter it though to what you're looking for?
You know what? I'm not sure. I'll have to go on there and see what it does. But I think you might be able to. I'm not sure. I was in class this weekend.
At Iowa State University.
And no.
Oh.
No. I love Iowa State at Drake University. I was in classes this weekend. It's been a kind of crazy, rough week. I lost a friend of our family, so it's been an off week.
Sorry
had
to hear
a friend
that.
who had some health things going on. Then school kicked in, and the loss of that person just brought back some old things for me. So it's just been kind of a week. But you know what? I celebrated because I got my first A in my first doctoral class, and I'm gonna take that celebration. So y'all all are on this journey with me. I got that A and celebrated with cookies and ice cream, and now I'm in the second class. I'm trying to get that 4.0 for the semester. Eli, I know you're happy for me. I hear you though. I hear you. All right.
All right, we getting the signal.
Yes, we are.
From the
We need
boss.
to take a break. Yes, we are. We need to take a break. She's whipping that finger around. So
When we come back, hey, I need everybody to press the share button. When we come back, we're going to be talking about voting. We're going to have NAACP in.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about that. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching the Urban Impact Show.
Yes. All right, well, welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. We are happy to have Dr. Vogt with us representing the NAACP. Rob may not have said it, but I'm going to say it.
The real name is John Olson, and I'm the Political Action Chair for the NAACP of Des Moines. I'm honored with that, to have that position. And the NAACP is a nonpartisan organization seeking to, improve the lives of people in the Black community. But it has always been open to everybody, white, Black, it has always been a multiracial organization. So, and, the biggest thing I think the NAA's, everybody knows about the famous lawsuits, in the Supreme Court, that they've achieved. But the other big thing that they do is try to get, the community out to vote. And you guys have been focusing on the candidates and all that. Now that everybody's been educated through all your wonderful efforts, it's time to vote.
Right. Yes, it is.
And so we have a Iowa, Nebraska NAACP voter voter flyer, and you can, there will be a link for that, on your guys' website and Facebook page, with all the details of all the dates and all that. DART is also providing free rides to the poll on Election Day. It's interesting to note that, you think most people should be able to walk to their polling place, but that's not the reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I used to vote, although I always vote early, I like being the first voter.
That's how you got your name.
Right. I've had my name longer than that, but the polling place where I would go to vote if I voted on Election Day was like 3 miles from my house, and so it's not always so easy.
Right. So how can, John, how can people find out? Like, if I know I need DART to get me there, do we call DART to get that ride? Do I just go to my normal bus stop, or is there a link for that?
Yeah, there is a link for that.
Okay.
So you guys will be
we'll be sharing it. So it'll be on our Facebook page. We'll get that information to you. But I think it's really important to know that this is why there should not be a reason not to vote. DART's providing those rides to be able to get you there and get you back home. So we'll make sure you have that information as well.
And you can reach out to your church, and they'll find someone to give you a ride to the polls. Whatever your situation. The other great thing to do is check your voter registration. And if for some reason you're not on there, even though you have voted recently, and that does happen to people, who knows why, haven't been able to figure out, that, make sure you bring your ID.
Yep.
And if it has your current address on it, that's all you need. But if it doesn't have your current address on it, just bring some proof of residency. And that can be utilities bill, your lease, a copy of your lease, many different things. And you can have it also on digital form.
So, John, is that if I need to register to vote when I go to vote, or is that if something has changed where I need to get something updated?
Well, if you have moved since you voted, you need to find your new polling place and go there, and you will probably re-register to vote.
Got it.
But thankfully, Iowa has same-day voter registration. And but there's a ton of information at the Polk County election website. There's a precinct finder, satellite locations, and sample ballots. Now, there's the back of the ballot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information there.
Right.
That is, people are like, what the heck? I don't know about these judges.
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe that you guys will also be posting information. There was a great article in the Register about that. And then in that article, there's a link so you can look at all the judges, like statewide even.
Right.
So as to the grades that each one of these judges is graded by an organization, and their fairness, following the rules, and
in the age of technology, I think we have the ability to be able to be informed voters, and a quick Google search. My Register had those grades. That was a really good article. So there's no reason we should be undervoting, hopefully.
Right. But even as somebody who's into it as I am, it is hard to be educated about everything. Did I know who to vote for the soil and water conservation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so, in full disclosure here, because it was vote for 3 and there was only 3 names, I skipped it because I didn't know any of those names. Now, is that, did I do my proper research? No. But at times, what I've had to do to find out information about those candidates is actually call them.
Yeah.
Now, I don't expect anybody to do that. I mean, some of this information needs to be more accessible.
Right.
That's true.
But I don't know if you guys have talked about the gun amendment.
Yeah.
So
We spent an episode on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys now understand what strict scrutiny means, and
Yeah.
so lots of people are confused about that. So it's not easy, and also I don't know if you guys have talked about deceptive ads.
We haven't spent too much time on the deceptive ads. We've talked about maybe not being happy with the things that we have seen. We continue to encourage people to really find things out for themselves, find the facts out, because a lot of that stuff's being pushed out there, but it's to fit the narrative, of course, of that campaign. So making sure that you research that.
You can go to like politicafact.com/Iowa and find out that information.
Oh, that's nice.
No, that's good to
So
know.
I mean, they don't cover every ad, but they even sometimes just cover what people have said, and going through whether it's accurate or not. And they're very even-handedly. They cover half of what Republicans have said and half what Democrats have said. Do I need to keep this up?
No, you don't have to. But I was going to ask you, though, I know the NAACP is nonpartisan, but is there some of that information on the NAACP's website? What you've got on that sheet?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me the website. Is it NAACP.org/Iowa? I'm trying to think. I think it's something really simple. I know. But if you Google. Okay. That's being shown right now. Okay, perfect. So we're good. So that is being shown on the screen right now. I just want to make sure that if people happen to go to the NAACP's page, that they will find that information.
And,
Iowa.
Well, so there's both the NAACP Des Moines, and then there's the NAACP Iowa, Nebraska.
Okay, so let's make sure it's NAACP Des Moines.
Well, actually,
or is it Iowa?
I would go to both because the Iowa, Nebraska has a voter guide, which is just absolutely, it's wonderful. It's a little wordy. I wrote it. I know it's wordy. But I'm just really passionate about, everybody getting out to vote. I mean, we have to save democracy. It's what makes America unique. And just the progression of everybody being included in democracy.
So before we let you go, I love your shirt.
Thank you.
And I wanted to call it out, but I have a question because I think it's one of those things that we say a lot that our voting rights have been suppressed. Black rights have been, voting rights have been suppressed. What's one way in Iowa that Black voters are being suppressed today that you could call out?
They're not being suppressed in Iowa as much as in other places, but I think, shortening the voting days has really made it tough, for everybody.
Yep.
And the satellite location was a big change so that, the auditors knew where they were needed the most and they made the decision. Now you have to get 100 people to petition for them to have a satellite location in a particular location.
And there can only be one in that area, right? Something like that. Yeah.
So, not two going simultaneously. Part of that's due to staffing, because they have to send their team out. But I think that it seemed like there were a lot more and a lot more where people needed it, like on college campuses.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
No, that
More
you know,
specifically-
that's I think that's a great answer, and I think what I'm really trying to get across is that it's those small things that I don't think we recognize are
Right.
really suppressing our rights to vote. It's those small things like just even requiring an ID. Like
Right,
nobody
so-
gets a free ID. That's $7, and it's probably more now with
It is a little bit
inflation.
more.
Yeah,
So now,
25.
so for the ID, you know, you can request a voter ID card from the Polk County Election Office, and so you wouldn't have to have. But again, you still have to show proof of residency and have to,
Right.
you know, have some form of of ID.
right.
So, how do you have some form of ID if you don't have an ID?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like I guess you could go in person and say, "Here's my proof of residency," but they still have to, I guess, show a birth certificate.
It's a catch-22, right?
is.
Right,
It's
right.
a question. Yeah.
So what's interesting is I fought voter ID with all I could. But as an election official with the system we use in Polk County, from that
Right.
advantage point, do I like it? Oh my God, I love it. It makes life so easy.
Right.
And nobody comes into everybody's had an ID, but okay, occasionally somebody has like left their ID and
Yeah.
but if you don't have an ID, you can have somebody attest for you
Okay.
Oh,
So-
really?
Friend, but they can only do it.
twice.
Okay.
two
Okay.
people.
For two people. Okay.
So like, and they have to be registered. They have to be registered and have their ID
Okay.
in the same precinct. They have to live in the same precinct as the person
Yeah.
The tester has to live
Right.
in the same precinct that the person needs.
And from your vantage point, it makes sense. You need to be able to identify yourself. I'm saying I would love to see a place where we don't have to pay for an ID. I shouldn't have to pay to tell you that my name is Tiara Mays. To me,
Right.
that's the equivalent of a poll tax. And I think that's how quite a few people see
Right.
it. But
Right. I think it is too. So
Well, I want to give out the websites. I did find them, and I want to make sure. I just want to make sure I give people the right information here. So, naacpdesmoines.org is the website for local. Iowa, Nebraska is Iowa, Nebraska, naacp.org. You can look up information there. If I could just say too that coming up in December, if it's all right to mention that, there's going to be
Please.
the NAACP Freedom Fund Banquet. That's going to be Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. If you go to naacpdesmoines.org, you can purchase your tickets there. It looks like we have Joy Williams who will be there as the keynote speaker. So encourage you all, because it's been maybe a couple
It's
years.
been a couple
It's
years,
been
and
a
3
couple
years.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first time, the only time I've been was in 2019, and I'm also a member of the League of Women Voters, and the League of Women Voters actually got honored at that event.
Nice.
And oh my God, you will have so much fun, and people are just to the nine, and it's
You want to go?
you want to go, and it is a blast, and this is a great place to people watch. I mean, I would be, and just because some crazy, wonderful outfit, and crazy meaning so positively. Just
Nice.
I love seeing it. So
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, depending on what you purchase, some might come with a membership. Yes, that's what I thought. Is that with the purchase, depending on maybe the level, or is every ticket? So every ticket purchase comes with a membership to the NAACP. So that's just another added bonus to purchase and support, the works of NAACP and what they're doing, not only here in our city, but across the state of Iowa, Nebraska, NAACP as well. So I just want to make sure that people knew that event was coming up, and they'll be a part of it.
and money also goes to the national. So
Right.
it's helping efforts all over the country.
Right.
So
I'm gonna take my daughter. A few weeks ago, we watched the Emmett Till movie, and she wanted to know what the NAACP was, and she got super excited.
Did
about it.
she?
She's like, I want to join. I
Yeah.
want to meet him. And I'm like, okay.
They got
Oh,
a
that's
youth
it.
chapter.
Yeah.
Youth-
Yeah, I
yeah,
told
there's a
her.
youth
I told her, I'm like, we
council.
got people
Yes,
we can talk to. She was. Yeah.
We're trying to get the youth council in Des Moines up and running again.
Right.
I got a 10-year-old for you. Call me.
Yep.
10-year-old.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So time to start raising them, raising them younger and younger, and that is truly exciting to hear. And I've not seen that Till movie yet, and I know I gotta go see it. I mean,
Yeah, we watched the series. We watched the the ABC series, so we haven't seen the movie yet. But she,
isn't that movie just about to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
So I'm excited to see that. Well, I don't know if the word excited is the right word, but
It'll still be,
It's powerful.
yeah.
It'll be
very
powerful and-
It will. It will. Well, John, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you
Again,
for having
everyone, make sure you check out the Facebook page of Urban Impact Show. We'll have information about NAACP. John has that paper up there too. It'll probably come across your screen when we take a break. But make sure you check out NAACPDesMoines.org
and
for
don't
information.
forget to vote.
Yes.
Remind 5 people who you think aren't going to vote, get them to vote, and take 5 people to the polls with you.
Yeah.
And remember, you have no excuse because DART's providing transportation. So you can get to a voting place if you need to make sure you vote. So, John, thank you for coming on the show.
John,
you.
so
We're
much.
going to take a short break. We will be right back with the Urban Impact Show.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show. Again, my name's Tiara Mays, and we're just going to talk a little bit about our state elections here, which are going to be in 9 days across the country. It's midterm elections. So, okay, what's been going on this week? Well, besides we're 9 days away from the election,
Right.
I'm sure everybody is getting all kind of text messages from candidates across the state, and
Right now, you know, my cell phone is popping.
Mine is not.
You know what I'm saying? My
Mine
cell
is-
phone is
I am
popping.
enjoying that no one has reached
You
out to
know,
me at
I-
all.
you
I'm
know,
loving it.
As soon as this is over, you know, right now, Deidre's my number one fan.
I'm saying,
you know.
Deidre is the most consistent person in my life.
Yeah, for real. Like,
Yeah,
for
I
real.
get tons of emails from her.
Them text
Yeah,
messages
that's
is
all I've
coming
gotten.
through.
Yeah, that is my most consistent friend right now. So, yeah.
Well, I was doing some reading this week, and you know, even though we're in Iowa, obviously there's going to be some implications about how, you know, what our House and Senate is going to look like on the federal level. And the Democrats really do have some work to do. As you mentioned earlier, Republicans have continued to do outreach not only to Black voters, but specifically Latino voters also. There has been a great push toward
Yes,
that. And
huge.
and we can see that Latino voters are kind of starting to sway more to
Conservative.
more conservative. And that could be for a multitude of reasons. One thing I wanted to say earlier when you were talking is interesting. In Iowa, we're very spoiled and we expect candidates to come knocking at our door. Door knocking is a thing. Yeah, I don't come to Black people's doors. I'm going to say it.
That's why I do. Right.
I'm going to say, I ain't had one door knocker yet.
I have not either.
Never. Never. I'm a registered voter. I vote in most of the elections.
Isaiah knocked on my door.
Well, Isaiah knock everybody's door. Isaiah knock right now.
It's just that I've been getting your turf.
Oh, really? Look. My thing is, my point is that, you know, as you mentioned, they've got to come to us. It's no longer just a given.
Right.
It's no longer a given, nor should it be taken that way. You have to get outside your comfort zone, and you have to come to us. You've got to go to the community centers. You've got to go to the local corner stores. Do we have corner stores in Iowa? No? Shop, we got that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Quick Trip. You know, there's a multitude of ways for candidates to get involved with our community, and specifically the party that is not in power does really well during midterm elections. So I feel like there should have been a greater push.
Man, I just noticed all three of us got on black shirts today.
We sure do. That
We
wasn't
do.
planned.
It wasn't planned.
That was
We
not
look
planned.
nice.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yes, we do.
Speaking of black, back to the black vote, because so our current governor only won by 20,000 votes. Our current governor won her election 50.3%, I believe, was the number.
Yeah.
Y'all can fact check me on that. 50.3, I believe.
3.4% was her margin of victory.
Okay. And so that's only 37,000 votes, to be honest, like according to how the numbers play out. 30,000 people between Black Hawk Land and Des Moines didn't vote that are eligible to vote.
Right.
30,000 didn't vote. That still leaves us with a gap of what, 7,000, right? So where does that other 7,000 come from? So let's play the number game. So that other 7,000 comes from independents or dissenting Republicans. If the Democrats were going to pull off a top of the ticket win here in Iowa, that's where that number comes from. You overcome that 37,000. It's not like a million votes. It's not like a million votes, right?
Right.
Yep.
It's not like 500,000 votes that you got to overcome, right? This is a pure number game. This is a
is.
turnout election.
Yeah.
This is a turnout election. My political pundit hat tells me that I think this election is going to be so close that they won't call it that night. I don't think Iowa's going to be called on Tuesday, November 8th. I think it's going to go into the next day, to be honest. Now, I think that's how close it's going to be,
Right?
Because of the Democratic candidate, because of who the Democratic candidate is right now, is drumming up so much attention from being endorsed by the number 1 and the number 2 newspaper in the state,
Yeah.
Des Moines Register and the Cedar Rapids Gazette, right? And so I think what we have here is an interesting thing that is happening. Kim Reynolds has been able to out fundraise her opponent.
Right.
Her opponent being a black woman running for the highest office in this state, that has never been seen or done before in this state. And I hate to say it, but the first always takes the bruises, right? I can guarantee you that when another one does it, it's going to be a smoother transition for them. Because let's say I decide to run for Secretary of State 4 years from now, right? It's going to be a smoother transition for me running for a statewide office and trying to become the nominee for a certain party. Would be a smoother transition for me because someone took those bruises already.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the person who is taking those bruises right now is the person that needs our support the most.
Right.
Right. And so, what does support look like? Right. Support looks like phone calls, text messages, door knocking. Support looks like social media. Support looks like making a video. That's what support looks like. Support looks like Madison watching Eli. He's a busybody, so good luck to her. Good luck to her. I told her, he is something else, let me tell you. Now that he walking, it's a wrap for all of us. And so it's just, for me, this is going to be a turnout election. And so we either wake up or we don't. Go ahead, DeJuan, I'm sorry.
No, I think it's good. I've said probably the same thing over and over again. It's just either we is or we ain't at this point. I mean, we talk the same talk every year. We've been doing this show and we've been spending an enormous amount of time during election season, rather it's, any election for us here. It doesn't matter if it's school board election, city council, if it's governor's race, if it's, whatever it is, we make sure that we get out to people that you need to get out and vote. We, the people, are the ones who determine how this thing goes. But I will say, I get tired of, at times, making the plea. And then when people don't show up, then you want to come to me and have a conversation about all the things that you feel like is wrong. And then when I ask you if you voted, that's not for me. Please, I'm making this announcement today. Do not come and have a conversation with me if you do not exercise your right to vote. We have nothing to talk about, because that's the first thing I want to say. Did you vote? No? Well, then, I'm done with you. So my encouragement to everyone is, as we've been saying this whole entire time, educate yourself on the people who are voting. Look them up. Give them a call. Reach out to their campaigns. Many people we've had has been really open about providing their phone numbers to us. Reach out to them, find out what's going on, and educate yourself for this opportunity. I agree that this is going to be a large turnout. Doesn't matter to me who's raised what kind of money.
Right.
Look, I'm gonna just bring my faith in real quick. I know we gotta wrap up here in a minute, but okay. I'll bring my faith in a minute. I ain't gonna say that right now. We're gonna pause and take a break because I'm getting that signal that we need to. So we're gonna take a pause. We'll be right back with the Urban Impact Show. Welcome back to the Urban Impact Show, where we are talking all things getting out the black vote. And before we took a break, I'm not going to tell you the story. Read it in the Bible for yourselves. But when I think about Deidre DeGier and Kim Reynolds, I'm always reminded of David and Goliath. Because what we talk about is the fact of all the things that Kim Reynolds has. She's got more money. She's got this. She's got that. And, you know, Deidre's got this. She's got that. She's got that. Read the story for yourselves. Find out who wins for yourself. But when I think about what we're encountering right now, that's what comes to mind. I know it was brought to our attention that we have the most black folks that are on the ballot this year, candidates who are on the ballot.
It's approximately 11 black candidates that are on the ballot statewide. Right. And 6 of them come from the metro area, which is great. So we have Deidre DeGier, Deidre DeGier, she's running for governor, obviously. Mary Wells running for Polk County treasurer. Mary Madison, who's running for State House out in West Des Moines. Isaiah Knox running for Senate. And then we have Akeo Abdul Samad and Ruth Ann Gaines right here in Polk County.
And Wayne Ford.
And Wayne Ford, so that's 7, excuse me. In total, we've got approximately about 15, 16 people of color.
R.J. Miller.
Yep. R.J. Miller
make sure we get all the black folks I can think
R.J.
of.
Miller, he's also running.
Thaddeus Franklin.
See, the list is expanding.
Yep. As we continue to go through the names, it's like, oh wait, and don't forget about if we forgot your name, we're sorry. We're really just doing this off the top of our heads.
We're gonna list
everyone who's on the ballot.
So, and I know personally how hard it is to put your name on the ballot. Whatever your party is, Eddie Andrews, he's running.
That's right.
Whatever your party is, whatever your politics is, you put your name out on the ballot, and I'm sure you're passionate about what it is you're running for.
We might be past 11 now. I
I
feel like we almost got 11 right here within our own city.
Which is amazing, but here's the thing, and I said this when I was running, I can only run if I have black support, at least at the bare minimum, if I have my community support. Then I can win. Without having your community support, it is almost an uphill battle. And we have to really take a look and research who our candidates are. And if their platform aligns with your values and you see good in them, vote. Go out on November 8th. They need our support. Without it, it's almost impossible.
And I think you can do that though in both ways, because I'm a firm believer in this. I'm not going to ask you to endorse a candidate because of the color of their skin. I think black folks should stick together. I think that makes sense. But I also think we all need to be able to think for ourselves. But in the least, if you can show some type of support that they're putting themselves out there.
Exactly.
I mean, because it's a lot to put yourself out there for a campaign and run a race. So if you don't support them, not mad at you. I'll still talk to you tomorrow. That's no problem. But at least acknowledge the fact that we've got several individuals who are stepping out. Because when you step out in that realm, you step out about everything about who you are. Not only who you are, who your family is. Everyone becomes kind of this target, fair game, whatever. It's a process. So in the least, if we could just be supportive of the fact that we've got people who are willing to step out there and what they're doing, even though we're not talking a lot about it, they're paving the way for the future people who want to be able to do this. Because other people, young folks, are going to look at these individuals who are now on the ballot and say, well, if they could do it, so can I. So we're being an example for them. So I just am still on the thing of, educate yourself on this. But of course, I think it does help when you have, your race's support. But I get that that's not always the case. That's okay. In the least, can we at least acknowledge and recognize that these individuals are doing something that I don't remember this been done before. I don't remember seeing this many people on the ballot. So I could be wrong, but I think I'm a native of Des Moines, so I've never seen this many people on the ballot.
Never. My family from Detroit, my aunt calls me and she was like, y'all got a black woman running for governor? I'm like, yes, we do. And to them, that's just like, wow, I've lived here most of my life, and it's a foreign concept that I live in Iowa. They don't think black people are in Iowa, so it's a real feeling to see that many people on the ballot, and it takes a lot to do it. And as you mentioned, acknowledge that part. It's tough. Before you go and criticize and start Facebook bullying people and getting all in people's faces, either you run or please be respectful in what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I know we rounding close to the end, so I'll hand it off to you two for closing thoughts. Starting with you, Tiara, as we close out your segments, man.
Yeah, this has been a really great experience, and I appreciate it. Just a few reminders. So, the election is on November 8th. What is on the ballot? You will be voting for governor. You will be voting for, your district state house representative. You will be voting for your federal house representative, federal senator. If in your district there's a state senator, you're going to be voting for your county treasurer, county attorney. You're going to be voting for judges. You're going to be voting in Polk County for the Board of Trustees for our county hospital.
That's right.
Also, there is that gun amendment that is on the back of the ballot. We talked about that. Take a look at that episode. Our recommendation: vote no. Just vote no. So those are my reminders. If you haven't registered to vote already, you are able to do so the day of the election. So you want to create a plan on how to get to the polls on Tuesday, November 8th. I know I just received in the mail from our county auditor where my polling place is. So if you haven't gotten that information, you can look it up online. You can call your county auditor's phone number and ask. There's ways to get the information. And at least if you are watching this, you know a couple of people that can give you resources if you need a ride somewhere. Like, don't not vote because you don't have a ride. Please use your resources and contact someone.
Yeah, I was just thinking, we've got one more Sunday to commit to voter education and all of this, since it's not until the 8th. Am I right? Yeah, the 6th. Yeah. So we've got one more Sunday for this, and I'll put the plea out there. If there's anyone we haven't talked to that would like to be on the Urban Impact Show, to just for that one last kind of push before voting would be on that Tuesday. So we'd have one more Sunday, and then voting would be on that Tuesday. We encourage you to be a part of it. Have the conversation with us. I will say, comments now, Rob? Are we doing comments? Okay. I will just say for myself, I feel like I'm a broken record. I keep saying, educate yourself. Show up at the polls. Vote. It's so important. I feel like every year is a crucial year for people to vote. And I think this year is another crucial year that we have. Look, for a person who considers herself to be independent, and I'm just kind of looking at the way of the world, it doesn't look too pretty right now. We've got individuals who are in positions of power who have determined that things are going to be the way that they say it's going to be because they can, because they have the majority, and because they say so. And if we continue to allow that type of rhetoric, we're going to continue to be in the same spaces and places that we are. Nothing's going to change. We have an opportunity again, we the people, to show up at the polls and say, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I watched a movie with Nautica. It was something she had to do for class, and I think it was called Newsroom or something. She's probably gonna laugh at me for saying this, but this guy was really on there. He was a news reporter, and he was encouraging people to speak up for themselves. And he was like, you've got to start saying, like, I'm tired of this. I'm not going to stand for this. I'm over this. And his message went so wide that people all across the 50 states were saying the same message, is that they're tired of this. And I guess my thing is, I talk to so many people who say they're tired, but then they don't show up to do anything about it. I'm saying to you that if you're tired of the way things are going, if you're sick of, some of the people that are in office, you have an opportunity to change that. So I'm hoping that the next show that we have after the elections, 2 weeks from now, that we're talking about people showed up and something changed. And because of your vote, something made a difference. So it's my hope that we get out there and vote. We do our part. Again, if you don't do your part, I don't want to hear about it.
Cannot complain.
Yes, you cannot complain. Those are my thoughts.
Well, Let's go vote.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Impact Show. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good week.
Have a good week. Yep.